as Sugar and Stitches here on YouTube and over on Instagram. I am coming to you with a new Flosstube video in my month's worth of stitching over this past month of June, since it's been about a month since my last video. I have a finish to share with you guys. I have 3 new starts because I might have gone a little crazy. I kind of realized that it was MAY-nia last month. And like that I know MAY-nia is not really a thing that people do anymore, but like, I don't know. I've been stitching for like 9 years now, and so I was stitching when MAY-nia was still like a very, very big thing that people were doing, and it's still in the back of my mind that that's like the time of year where people start new projects and go do things. So I kind of wanted to have some new starts there, and I also wanted to kind of replace my finish, because I'm one of those people who likes to have like a project in every category kind of that I enjoy stitching. So like, or in every designer that I like stitching. And I was watching, I think it was Becca's stitching, and she was saying that she does this kind of the same thing where she like likes to have one piece per like designer that she really likes, and I'm a little bit like that too. So I like, if I have a fancy lady category, like I'll be working on a Nora Corbett, and then when I finish that, I'll want to start a new one, or like I'll be working on a Flossy Fox pattern, and then when I finish that, I'll want to start a new one. So kind of like that. So I do have 3 new starts to show you guys, and then just some progress on some of the other whips that I've been working on. And then I do have kind of an exciting piece of news for you guys, at least that I'm excited about. I don't know. Other people might be like, it's not that cool, but I think it's really cool. So so first I will show you guys my finish, which this project was kind of malingering a lot longer than it should have. I think I have been working on this for like 3 years, and I did not need to be working on it for 3 years. I finished it in like 2 weeks, I think. Oh, my cat decided to come into the room and meow at me. Hey. Hey. He wanted to make an appearance. Hi, buddy. If you guys didn't know, this is my cat, Miso. He's orange, and he has the correlating number of brain cells to his color, so he does in fact have 0 brain cells. All right, you want to go, buddy? Okay. Okay, now that Miso's made his requisite appearance, this pattern I had been working on for a very long time. I got into a phase where I was kind of doing like pattern keeper patterns only, or like focusing more heavily on those because they're a little more enjoyable to stitch in my experience. But I finally pulled this back out and finished it. So this is Miss Goss Swallowtail by Nora Corbett, and she is gorgeous. I love the colors. Her wings are so insanely bright, and she has an insane amount of beads, just like in her headdress and all down the side of her wings, and then in the antennas on the bottom there. Once I finished the stitching in her, I kind of thought that I was very close to being finished, and I was wrong. I think I spent the entire next weekend just beading. So I underestimated just like a little bit how long that was going to take me to finish all the beads and everything. But I think the last time I showed this to you guys, her entire right wing was still like not filled in. And then I hadn't done any of the beading or anything else. So I filled that wing in, and I did all of the beading and everything to finish her up. So she is done. Okay, so now that I have that finished for you, the things that are whips that I've just been working on for the past like month, this one I didn't do very much on. This is my full coverage project called Izanami Goddess, and I only pick this up when I really get the intense urge to work on full coverage projects, which isn't super frequently. It's one of those things, like, I get the bug to work on full coverage for like a week, and I work on it for a week, and then I put it away and I don't touch it for months. But I got another like half a percentage point done on this, which isn't much, but I filled in some of the other colors around this little spoke in her parasol, so I got a little bit done. It's not a whole lot, but it's something. I was at 2.06% last time I showed you guys, and that is 2.56%. So not a whole lot. I probably won't pick this up again for another good long while because I'm also not in the full coverage mood anymore. So she'll go away for at least a little while. Okay. The other thing that I have to show you guys, I think this was a new start last time I showed you guys, and I had gotten it to 11.03%, and now it's at 25.54%. And that is Verdant Reverie by Sprouting Lupine. So pretty. This was a exclusive for Midsummer Stitch last year, which I'm planning on going to Midsummer Stitch this year as well, and just seeing what all they have there. But oh, this one is so pretty. I wish it showed up a little bit better on camera because there's a dark green in the tail of the moth right here that's like the antenna thing that's underneath the other one, and this fabric shows up darker on camera than it does in real life. So in real life, you can see that dark green better, but on camera it doesn't really show up super well, unfortunately. But yeah, that one's super pretty. I want to keep working on that, and that's on 32 count Scotsman. Yes. Okay, next thing I worked on, I've actually gotten a good chunk done on this one. This is Circle Circle Dot Dot from Jed X Stitch, and last time I showed you guys this, it was only at 25.12%, and now it's at 76.43%. So I've basically gotten like 50% of this done in the past month, which is around like 3,000 stitches on this, because I think it's almost 6,000. It's like 5,900 or something. And I don't remember what this fabric is called, but I really want to finish this. The ice cream cone down there is like my favorite part of this entire piece. The only thing is that I am running out of like the dark rusty color for all these outlines and everything. And I did order more of it. I put in an order to 123 Stitch 2 days ago, but they haven't shipped my order yet, so I'm gonna put this away for a little bit until I get more of that color. But I love this. It just gives me like 70s happy, fun, crazy color rainbow vibes. So I do want to finish this, I think, before my next video, and I don't think that will be too hard to do because I only have like, you know, like 1,500 stitches or so left in it. So I think that's probably pretty doable for me to get that done before the next video. Okay, next thing that I worked on, next whip that I worked on is Midnight Way from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And I think last time I showed this, I said I really wanted to finish this year sometime, which is accurate. I do really want to finish this year. So I put in the entire second building. So Broomhilda's in the middle there. She is completely done. So I need to put the last store, Cats and Bats, in. But yeah, this actually stitched up surprisingly fast, considering it's just a PDF pattern and it's not in, that doesn't go into Pattern Keeper. And this is on 28 count Whimsy, which is the called for fabric for this. But yeah, she's so cute in her little, behind her little counter with all of her little brooms and stuff. So yeah, this is another one. I don't think I'll work on this coming month, but maybe like maybe like August or something, I'll pick this up and just knock it out, so that way I can like find a way to display it and have it finished for actual fall, and be done with it. That's another whip that's been kind of lingering past its prime, so I do want to get that finished. Okay, so those are all of the works in progress that I've put stitches into since I last made a video. I do, like I said, have a few new starts to show you guys though, so I will start pulling those out. The first thing I have is I did start the kit that I showed in my last video, which was Coastal Gardens by MAY-nia. So here's what that looks like. Very Italian coast coated. And I didn't realize this, which I shouldn't be that surprised because a lot of kits have half stitches, but like the entire sky and everything for this is all half stitches. So I've been, come on, there we go. I've been just kind of working in the sky area for this, and this is all half stitch so far. So I've done all of this since the last time that I saw you guys, and it is, half stitch is nice because it feels like you're going really fast. However, I do kind of have an issue with half stitch just because I struggle to go the correct direction with half stitch. And with that, I mean, your half stitches are supposed to be like the direction of the top leg of your crosses. And I have tried to do that before, and inevitably my brain just like switches back to doing it like the bottom leg, because it's like the first stitch to me always goes, I think I stitch the opposite of the way a lot of people do, where I go from like bottom left corner to upper right corner as my first leg, and then do top left to bottom right as the second leg. And so basically like you end up with this kind of clashing thing where your cross stitches and your half stitches, then the top leg of your cross stitch is going the opposite direction to your half stitches. And honestly, I've just decided to embrace it in most of these patterns, because if I don't, what ends up happening is my brain will just switch to doing it the way that I automatically do, and then I'll be like, oh shoot, I have to pay attention, and it takes a lot more focus for me to make sure that I'm doing what would normally be the top leg direction of my stitches first for all the half stitches, if that makes sense. And then I kind of end up with a clump of like where I'm paying attention versus where I'm not, and then they're all going different directions, as opposed to it just being like all the half stitches are just going to be this direction, all the full stitches are just going to be the other direction, and it's just what it is. But yeah, and this is just on like the kit fabric with all of the called for kit colors and everything. And I did mention last time, I think, that MAY-nia uses their own app. Their newer patterns like this don't even come with a paper pattern, they just come with a QR code that you can scan, and they have their own app called FantaStitch that it loads into, and I'm really liking it. It gives you like better stitching stats than Pattern Keeper. Like every time you open it and start stitching, it creates like a little journal entry where it will tell you like how long you were stitching for, how many stitches you did in that time period. And it's kind of cool to me to like see that kind of breakdown, which Pattern Keeper will tell you how many stitches you've done. But as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, it doesn't save like, you know, like entries of every time you work on it and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, this is so pretty. I like all the blending is so pretty, and so far it is very varied. There have been like 1-stranded half stitches in here. There have been 3-stranded half stitches in here, and most of it's 2-stranded, but it's very much like the Dimensions kit style of cross stitch, where there's a lot of variation in like thread number and what type of stitch you're doing. So really pretty. FantaStitch is really nice to work with so far, so I would say I would highly recommend their kits so far, just because the app is such a pleasure to work with, as opposed to like a paper chart especially, which most kits you buy and it's just here's your paper chart and go highlight and work off of that. Old school, right? Okay, so that was my first new start, and I think I got that to like 2.3% finished. And I don't know with Fantastitch if they like count half stitches as half of a cross, if you know what I mean. I don't know if they count it like that or if they count it like every square is just one regardless of whether it's a half stitch or a full stitch. So I don't know if it's 2.3% counting those half stitches all as like half of the amount of stitches that they actually are like square wise or not. Sorry, I know that's confusing, um but yeah, I think it said there are like 45,000 stitches, I think, in that pattern. So it is full coverage, but it's like kit full coverage, which I generally seem to like a little bit more than like the super confetti heavy full coverage, just for like enjoyment of stitching for me. I think those look beautiful, but I enjoy stitching like more of the color blocky ones, and the kits are usually better about kind of having like chunks of color together instead of like ninja stitches, one here of that color, one there of that color. Okay, this next one is really exciting, and this is actually one that I asked my husband which of my Mirabilia charts he liked the most, because I have a small stash of Mirabilia charts, including a few out of print ones. And so I let him pick out which one he wanted me to start. And I have had this one kitted up actually for a long time. And I planned on starting it, gosh, like a year or two ago, and I just never got around to it. But this is Ophelia by Mirabilia Designs. And I wanted to do her on a different fabric just because I don't dislike a lot of the fabrics that Mirabilia patterns are like called for, and I think she always uses Witchelt fabric because that's the distributor for her patterns, so I think she's kind of limited to like picking one of their fabrics to design and have her like cover picture on. However, I was messaging someone on Instagram about this, and I kind of said I don't like how like dirty and swampy the water around her looks. And like I know the whole story of like Ophelia, right? It's not a happy story. Part of me was like, do I really want her to be floating in like turquoise oceany water? And then another part of me was like, actually yes, I do. So instead of doing like that dark green color that's called for, I chose the most colorful fabric probably that I've ever put something on, which is 28 count Ocean Depths, Opalescent Ocean Depths by Bestitch Me. So here is that. I did the corner with the upper right hand corner with the lily pads, and then stitched over to her hair and did that little line of flowers in her hair there. So I am absolutely in love with how this looks. On this fabric. I think it's going to be beautiful. The light green of the lily pads and the pinks and just literally every color seems like it's going to pop on this fabric. So, and it's sparkly. If I move it a little bit and kind of shimmy it, you can see it is kind of sparkly. So yeah, this, I think I might just keep this out because I kind of want to put this back into my Q-snap and work on it for a little while. Every time I look at this fabric, I just like, it makes me want to pick like prettier, more like colorful fabrics for the things that I stitch, just because I feel like I want to pick it up more if I just think the fabric is pretty. But yes, that I'm going to keep that out and work on it a little bit more because I want to get that. I want to get a decent amount of progress on that, and that's kind of replacing my Nora Corbett pattern right now because I finished that one and I don't have another fancy lady that's like on the go, so I wanted another one to fit in there, and so my husband picked Ophelia, and that's the one that I'm working on now. Okay, last new start was a complete impulse purchase. I had this piece of like super light green called Early Frost. I think it's from a seller on Etsy, but I don't remember who. And I started seeing everyone after Spring Mingle, which I did not go to, But I saw everyone posting like their strawberry moon patterns and everything, and strawberries everywhere. And I kind of wanted something strawberry-y for me too. So I bought and started Strawberry Witch from Flossy Fox shop, and I have just started doing I say started, I'm almost finished with all of the black outline for everything. Just the black outlines. I have another row of like these flowers right here to do along this side, and then I'll be done with all the outlines. But this, with just not even all of the outline stitched, is 41.11% finished. So this has gone super fast. I think this pattern is only like 3,000 stitches or something like that, for this to already be like almost half of it finished. But yeah, this is so cute, and I wanted to join everyone in like the strawberry stitching. So I was like, I have this piece of fabric and I think this will look good on it. And I'm a little sad that I don't have more color in this right now, because it feels kind of depressing just to show you guys like an outline of everything. But I do want to keep this out too and keep working on it and hopefully get some more color in it before the next video. So yeah. So those are all 3 of my new starts. The only other thing, I don't have haul to show you guys. I will next video. I had to order, like I mentioned, for Circle Circle Dot Dot, I ordered a skein of DMC that I need to finish that project, and then I also ordered a couple like more housekeeping things. Like I needed more Q snaps, just because I've been using the same Q snap for like since I was in college, like 5-6 years ago, and I'm getting to the point where some of the clamps just aren't clamping anymore, or like a couple of them are like cracked along the back side so they don't grip anymore. And so I ordered a couple new Q snaps just to get nice replacements. Yeah, I ordered those. I ordered the thread that I needed, and then I did order the new Just Cross Stitch Halloween magazine, and then a couple pieces of fabric for patterns in there that I'm kind of considering doing for this fall. So yeah, I will have haul to show you guys next time, but not this time, unfortunately. The other thing that I wanted to say was I do have a little piece of news that I'm really excited about, and I can't share like that much about it, but I submitted an application to be a test stitcher for one of the designers that I really like, and I got accepted, and she sent me like a digital mock-up and everything of the pattern, and I am like super hyped. And obviously I can't really share like what it is or anything until it's actually released, but I'm super excited to start that. And I don't know, it's like I get to actually test stitch something. It's a little bittersweet because I know I'm gonna have to like send it off to her to like take pictures of and go live at like, you know, whatever conventions and other things that she goes to. So it's a little bit sad, and I really like the one that she sent me and gave me to do. So I'm like, man, I might have to like stitch it twice, and one for me to keep and one to like send off into the world. But yeah, that'll be really exciting. I will like take pictures and a video of it when I finish. I just won't actually like post anything about it, obviously, until that pattern's actually out in the world. So that's really exciting for me. She's supposed to mail me the fabric soon so I can start on it. So part of my stitching for this coming month, I won't be able to show you guys next video, but you'll eventually see it. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, that is all that I have for you guys, I think. My plans, I don't really have plans, I'm gonna be honest. I wish I did, and I love seeing everyone like play all the games and stuff and do like WIPGO and things. I think my only plan is I want to work a little bit more on Ophelia. I kind of want to pick up my Opossum Forager from Fine Frog Stitching and my Fantasy Axolotls from blanking, Need a Lot Designs. Those are 2 of my projects that I didn't really I didn't put any stitches into them this past month, so it's kind of fun for me to keep track of like what I have worked on and what I haven't, so that I can see like the things that are getting neglected, I guess. Sometimes I also need to put more stitches into Summoner, so I'm sorry, Jara. I need to catch up to where you are on that, because I think you're at like 50% or something, and I'm still over at 40. So I don't know. I'll go through. There are a couple things, a couple projects that I worked on this past month that I want to continue progress on, but there's also a couple things that I didn't work on that I definitely want to show some love to. So yeah, I will see you guys next time, and thank you guys so much for hanging around and listening to me blather on about my stitching. Let me know down below what you guys are working on, and I don't know, anything you want. I'll see you guys next time.